Dagger. I didn't even see this one. After your hero attacks, gain 1 spell damage this turn. Oh, this is so good, dude.
I know, right?
Like,
my bias on full display, I have some weird love for spell damage I can't explain.
yeah, I mean,
So I'm gonna overrate this.
we tried to make spell damage rogue work, so it's like, yeah, I mean, spell damage synergy is like you can combo it with, and the weapon. I mean, it's nice having a weapon early. I feel.
Well, let's think about this. If you play 1 spell with this, each turn it attacks, it's a 2-mana 2/3, and that is not really great. Not bad.
Yeah.
If you can play more than 1 spell per turn with this could be like a 2-mana 3/3.
Yeah. So I think when we talk about it, the absolute power level isn't as impressive, but there's so much potential for synergy wise.
Yeah, I want to call this like a 3 or 4 for deck building.
I'm gonna give it a 4 for deck building.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just give it a 2 for power level because
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, because it's not actually that, like, if spell damage shaman, if there wasn't all these really powerful spell damage cards, this card would not probably see play, But I think it's absolutely.
The weird thing about this, I was trying to build a spell damage shaman with this card. Still kept cutting Arcane Watcher.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I just kept taking it out every time.
Yeah, well, if your Arcane Watcher isn't as good for like the burst OTPK, but like you just do Rune Dagger and then you go Fire Instructor on your last turn, and you could just do ridiculous damage. So,
although, speaking of Rune Dagger, we can also talk about the next card, which pairs directly with it, which is Molten Blast. 3-mana spell, deal 2 damage, can go face, summon that many 1/1 elementals. It's like Implosion, sort of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so good.
So the idea, presumably, is you play the Runic Dagger on 2, you attack on 3, you shoot something for 3, and get 3 1/1s, which is real good.
Yeah.
If you don't have spell damage, it's kind of wimpy.
Yeah, that's true.
Awful.
So you're right. If I just wasn't running spell damage, deal 2, summon 2 1/1 elementals. Is that good enough? Because not really. So
it can go face.
Yeah, so I think it's a 2 on power level and a 3 on deck building. That's what I'm gonna put.
I can definitely get behind that. This does excite me deck building wise. 2 and 3 is fine.
Oh yeah.
Letting my love for spell damage get in the way of my clear thinking here, but that's okay.
We should skip Shaman next. Oh, the spreadsheet says it's Mage next. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's a good catch. I thought this was Shaman.
Oh, is it? Wait, Trick Totem? Wait. Oh, is that? Oh, I think it's a. Oh, is Trick Totem a multi-class card?
Yes.
Oh, all right. We're just doing Shaman. We're going off.
Why are we doing Shaman right now? Did I click on something?
I was just following your lead, but we're just so excited for Shaman, guys.
We'll go back. It's fine.
Yeah. It's Shaman. It's the class to. It's been hurted, so it's time for Shaman's glory. All right, Tidal Wave, deal 3 damage to all minions. This is. I haven't seen. I missed a lot of the Shaman cards. This card, I mean, as a heal card, could be insane, but it's also 8 mana.
Yeah, this is very much 8 mana.
This for 5 mana, but like, I don't know. It's like. You do this on like your opponent's aggressive deck. You do it, you clear everything, and you full heal. Like, that's insane. But also, if my opponent knows I'm going to do that, they're going to just, I don't know.
There's also Walking Fountain on 8.
Yeah, it does conflict with that.
Shaman to me never had a problem clearing the board. Didn't even really have a problem healing.
Yeah, like Earthquake. I'd rather.
This doesn't solve any problem that Shaman has in my brain.
It's such a cool card, but it's probably trash.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
giving
know.
this one.
Yeah, I don't want to give it a 1, but you're right. I know you're right.
Ones for you.
Yeah,
Or
I'll
do you
give
want
it a
to go up?
1s. I'll give it a 1s. It's like just so
It's
cool. The
exciting.
idea of like being at 4 health and killing your opponent's board at full healing. Yeah, so we'll see.
Next
Maybe
up,
I'm gonna give it a 2 on deck building just because I like it too much. Even though it doesn't really mean anything. All right,
we
Trick
got
Totem.
Trick Totem. 2 mana, 0/3. Totem, end of your turn, cast a random spell that costs 3 or less. So someone has said there's like 200 something spells this could hypothetically cast.
Yeah, it's so
Trying to
hard
get
to.
the trying to imagine the value of what your average spell is impossible.
Yeah, there's
So
a lot
it's
of value generating spells I think for under 3. You know, even like so.
I'm going to
Um,
assume this does something slightly positive at the end of every turn.
yeah,
Like
but it's a 2 mana 0/3
volatile.
totem, so it's just good for the additional stats. And if
Yep.
this is slightly positive, this actually might be insane. Like if it's on average slightly positive, um,
Me, I'm
like
just looking at this card with Totemic Reflection, Totemic Might,
yeah,
Totemic Surge. It's a Totem Shaman card for me, and it's stickier than other
yeah.
totems in the mana slot.
I'm trying to think of like would this just for an exercise of how strong it is. Absolutely, like would this be good enough in Mage? It's hard to say. For me,
I don't love it in Mage, but
yeah.
I
Like I'm
like it in
wondering,
Shaman because of the tag. That's it.
Forbidden Word's your own guy, easy. Or shock yourself and pork lately. Okay, you guys are
The
convincing me that
ideal case for this, and this never happens, but
there's some
turn
low
one,
rolls.
you coin Trick Totem. At the end of the turn, it Totemic Reflections itself.
Oh, the high roll potential. Oh, that's
That's the high
great.
roll.
Okay. This,
Sometimes you play it, it soul fires itself.
all right. That's pretty bad. Oh god.
I'm gonna hate this card because I
I
think if Shaman plays it, Shaman probably wants to play it,
all
and
right.
this is gonna do some wacky shit early.
Yeah, Plague of Flames. All right, I'm gonna give it a 2 on power level and a 3 on deck building. Um,
It's
it's
twos on both.
yeah.
It's for Totem Shaman, and that's all I actually give it a 1 on deck building. It's Totem Shaman, and that's all I see it. It
I don't
doesn't go
know.
anywhere else.
Look, this card is. I just want to play this card even if it's bad, just to see, you know.
Yeah,
So
mini puzzle box.
mini puzzle box. Why do Shaman and Mage share a totem and not an element? That's interesting. Primordial Studies. Discover a spell damage minion. Your next one costs 1 less. And all right, so that we can actually really objectively evaluate like
Can.
what there's like 5 spell damage minions,
Or
even
not many
with
spell damage. So we
what
got
type.
in standard. We got Steward of Scroll from the new set.
Yeah.
Steward of Scrolls, which is the new Azure Drake. Lab. No, we can't find lab partner for Mage. All right, so just from the new stuff is Steward of Souls, and from other standard cards, you can discover Vosh, Squall Hunter, and then Kobold Geomancer, Blood Mage Thalnos, Mana Reservoir, Dalaran Mage, Ogre Magi, Archmage, Violet Warden, Malagos. The neutral is not that bad because you're going to often be offered a spell damage minion that costs after this 1 to 2 mana.
So you can combo it, yeah. Like you can spend like let's say a bunch of mana this turn and then go off the following turn for some sort of lethal.
Yeah, the only real bad part of this, of course, that you're spending 1 mana for a spell. That's not being devoted to developing a board or playing a minion.
Yeah.
I really want Shaman. I'm not sure they have the luxury of I'm going to set up a spell damage turn.
Well, you also could just play it on 1 and play like Lady Vosh on 2 because it's you
could.
get yeah. I was gonna give it a 1, but the fact that you can use it to like I could play 2 of these on 1 turn, get 2 spell damage minions, and like look for a good one, and then play one that costs like then I could play like the 5/7 Drake for 2 mana, hit with my weapon, and then just go like play the 3 mana.
You can also play this on 1, turn 2, 5/7 with a coin.
Yeah. And if you're running that trashy innervate card, you could do it all in one, right?
Yeah.
So, all right,
Personally, I
maybe.
don't think Shaman has room for this. I'm going 1 and 3 on this, probably. Maybe 1 and 2. 1 and 2, yeah. The deck, I
Yeah,
think you only build one type of deck with it.
yeah, it's probably one. I only think it's good in for synergy, and it's just kind of objectively, it's like independently, it's so weak. Yeah, I think I like 1 and 2. So interesting though.
Awful. Now Speaker Gridra for Shaman.
Yeah, it
I
activates the spell burst as well.
I don't know what about this one. You can
For
buff it
Shaman.
with Totemic Reflection. Sure, give it +5/+5.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Is there? They
The
used to. No, they don't have the Earthen Elemental anymore. Trying to see what good early game spells.
I guess the thing to think about with this is just how acceptable is this with Shaman if you turn it into a 2/5?
Yeah.
Amount of 2/5 Rush Windfield.
I mean that's really
okay.
good. Like, and if you're running the synergy already, you could do Ancestral Spirit, and then it comes back, and then you could do it again.
Yeah.
I feel that the objective power level of this card is just really good. So it just I could see it being used in so many, like any spell, like just the fact that getting a 3/6 Rush Wind Fury.
Yeah, I can
oh
be
crap.
talking to a
Oh
3 on
shoot.
this, I think.
Yeah.
I'll go for 3 and 3 on it. It seems good, but I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with it.
Yeah, I like the 3 and 3. It's just so much potential, and it's strong. It's hard to even think of all the possible ways to do it.
All right, well, that's a mystery for another day, but
Yeah.
it seems to have a good immediate impact.
Yeah, I can't figure out everything. All right, Structure Fireheart. Discover a spell that costs 1 or more. If you play it this turn, repeat this effect. I think this is probably the strongest card of the set. I think this card is insane. Like it's even if it was you do it once, it's Volpera for +1 attack, which already sees play. Overrated.
I think it's a 3. I think this is just going to go into most Shaman decks on the basis of it is at least fine.
I mean, if this card doesn't see play, Shaman doesn't see play. Like I don't know.
It kind of goes places. Volpera Scoundrel, though, I mean, it does kind of suck. Shaman has the Marsh spawn, which is 3/4 discover a spell if you play one last turn, which is also, I think, okay.
Yeah, but look how consistently I can. Okay, for turn I can discount my dragon to 2, get it ready, and have this weapon equipped, and then I go like or not. Maybe I have like 7 mana. I go Structure Fire, Humble Heart, play the 2 mana dragon, and go like Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt. Like you could just keep getting. I'm giving this double 4s. This card I think is insane.
I can give it a 3 and 2 just because I don't think it poses any interesting deck building. It just goes places and is fine.
Yeah.
Don't build around this. It's gonna happen.
I mean, that's what I mean. It builds itself, and it's built. I don't know. It's I'm in love with this instructor here. Just look at her. Look at her just gazing at all the. I don't know. Anyway,
Shaman they do kind of lack value generation, so sure, it's fine.
Oh yeah, you could do that with. You could just do it in any other deck, and like, okay, I'm gonna take a Farsight, and then I'm gonna take an Earth Shock and silence their minion. Like it's just. Then I'm like, I don't know. I just love this card too much.
Good card. Next up, we got Runic Carvings. Now, for Shaman, this is much more interesting, I think. Because Totem Shaman, this can help it get back on the board if it ever falls behind. You can play this with Totemic Might. You can make 2 4s on the same turn. You can play with Totemic Surge.
Oh, that could be cool, yeah.
Yeah, I like this more in Shaman. I'm gonna give this a 3 in Shaman.
You could use it with the weapon too to just make a bunch of 3 drops potentially. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Like,
Tree and
that's
totems are 2s. Yeah, you can use this with elf weapon. But what is that called? I
yeah.
didn't even think about that. I think it's a 3 and a 3 then. Because this also can discount Mogu in the same turn.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I don't. I'm still not. I guess 4/2/2s is pretty good.
Dog spawn Knuckles.
I still don't feel like it's that strong. Like I think it's a 2 power level, but I'm gonna give it a 3 for deck building because there's so much potential you could do with it. So, okay.
Reasonable.
Groundskeeper.
More for Shaman.
It seems like it's better for or it might be. Well, Shaman already has lots of good heal, and Shaman doesn't have that many good 5 mana plus spells. Am I right? Like Dragon's Pack, which is trash now. Earthquake. Oh, so all right, you do it in the. I mean, yeah, I guess it's good in the control. Yeah. Oh, Haggith the Scheme is still a thing, right? So maybe.
Yes.
Did they get any other 3 mana spell, 5 mana spells plus? Oh, the runic carvings that we talked about. So realistically, it's got 3 spells. So it's just like not that great a synergy, but it's still a 4/5 taunt.
A fat one on this one.
I'm gonna
not that it's a bad card, but
I'm gonna give it 2s just because it does. I could see Control Shaman wanting to run this card, and they did. So it's got that 8 mana card that we didn't even think about.
Control Shaman would probably like this card, but I don't know what a Control Shaman is.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to, so, all right, next one, Frost Whisperer. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. All enemies. I just couldn't imagine this card being that good to say all enemies. All right, what do you think, Jay?
It's a better Despicable Dreadlord, and we know that card is good. Don't actually know how impactful the spell damage text is on this card, but I think without that text, it's still a good card.
Yeah.
So I'm with a 3 on this.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 for deck building.
I'm gonna give it a 4 on power level. I think it's just gonna be running everything. It's just so good. But I'm gonna give it a 3 on deck building because it's just like it's gonna be run in decks that have spell damage. It's gonna be run in decks that don't have spell damage, just because like dealing 1 damage to all enemies is useful, you know. Like I could see a mage running this card, like a Highlander mage, and just the 1/3, just those 2, you know, because I think it's that good. Yeah.
Next up, we got the Totem Goliath. 5 mana, 4/5 totem. Death Rattle, summon all 4 basic totems, overload 2. So I mean, you stick Totemic Reflection when you play this card. And you may also stick a Splitting Axe.
Yeah.
So, like, if the thing dies or it doesn't die, you still copy with Axe. Then you can buff up again with Surge. And the issue I see with this deck is that, holy shit, is it all in. You make a board full of totems at some point, maybe early, maybe in the mid game, and you dump your buffs onto it, and you hope that it kills the opponent, because if it doesn't, you are out of cards. I think Totem Goliath is a good deck.
It's one of those cards that, like, when I talk about it, it seems really good, but when I think about like Totem, like when I think about it, I feel like it's really bad. I don't know. It's yeah, because you play this. All right, my opponent just doesn't kill it, and then, or I guess if I do run, I don't know, or like if this is good in a situation where, in theory, like when you're being the aggressor, it feels weaker when you're behind because your opponent either probably just ignores it or it kills everything off. Like if you're kind of, so I don't know. But.
It's a curved topper. Positive about that.
Yeah. I could see this being a 1 or a 3 on power, like after it gets tested.
It interferes with Runic Carvings. You can't play this on 5 and Runic Carvings on 6. Just getting those totems on the board and being able to Bloodlust kind of sort of for 0 with Totemic Surge is not bad.
Yeah.
I'm I'm gonna give it a 3 and probably a 1 because it was in Totem Shaman, if anywhere, and nowhere else.
I think I rated this higher earlier, but I've thought about it, and I just feel like it's not actually going to work well. Um,
I
oh, but
understand the same.
but maybe it will. Like it's weird. Yeah, 'cause you could do it with Vicina. Wow. All right, it's got too much deck build. I think it actually does have good deck building potential. So I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna give it a 3 on deck building and a 1 on power level. I don't know. It's like this card would never be run in any other class. So that's kind of what's interesting.
Powers combined, we have called this card Fringe.
Yeah.
Right.
Devolving missiles. Shoot 3 missiles at random enemy minions that transform them into ones that cost 1 or less.
Plus 1 less.
Oh, cost 1 less. Sorry. 1 or less would be really good.
1 or 0.
Yeah.
So this can hit the same thing multiple times.
Yeah. So Devolve saw play. This feels like it could be better than Devolve in a lot of situations, right? Like
Maybe. It might not hit the minion you want it to hit ever.
yeah, that's true. Which is hard for like a lot of times you want to devolve to get through taunts, but if they have a taunt and they have something else, well, that protects it. But still, you could hit it.
Earth Shock is a thing.
First shock is a thing.
I just don't know what deck I put this in. I truly do not.
I'm gonna go
Personally on power. I
Yeah.
don't think it's even a bad card. I don't think I can ever put this in a deck on purpose.
I feel this is me just I'm gonna give it a 3 because I know how powerful Devolve is, and that's 2 mana, and that sees play in Wild. So I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be strong in the right deck. I don't
I'm
know.
doing ones across the board. I don't even know how I deck build around this.
Yeah, it's a tech.
All I do is beat Spreading Plague. And it beat Max.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know what else Devolve really did. Devolve's a Totem Goliath? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you also like, let's say they just have like they play a 3-drop, and you play it and you just make it a 0/1/1 guaranteed. You know?
You turn Edwin into a frog.
Yeah.
Then sometimes your opponent is a board full of lackeys, and devolving missiles is
Not that good there, but unless they've been buffed up to 4/4s with Dark Pharaoh Takan, so yeah, I'm gonna give it
3 of power. What do you want for deck
a
building?
1. It's just not that interesting in deck building. It's more, I think it's gonna be used in so
Cool.
yeah.
Lightning Bloom for Shaman. I feel like I'm less interested in this in Shaman, and at the same time more interested.
Yeah, it's weird because Shaman has overload synergy, and
Asina.
yeah,
Shaman has the Elemental, the 1/3.
and if we're going for these spell damage OTKs, so I'm gonna give it a 2 for Shaman instead, but it's still a 4 for deck building because it's just so much like potential for crazy things.
I think I'm gonna stick to my 3 and 3. It's weird because Shaman, it's like they don't draw many cards. That you play this card and you are immediately all in.
Yeah.
What you did didn't just kill the opponent. You are not developing next turn.
Yeah.
And you're out of cards.
Ugh. Sir, Shaman doesn't have any card draw, does it? Did it even get anything good for value generation? No, it didn't.
It casts random spells.
Yeah. Oh god.
This card generation isn't playing the runic carvings and the Goliath that have cards.
Yeah. All right. I changed my mind. I'm going back to 1 and then a 3 on deck building for Shaman because it's like
1 and 3.
Yeah.
God, actually, I'm going down to a 2 and 3 now. Yeah. I'm not sure if Shaman can be this all in. I don't think you can play Totemic Surge and Totemic Might and Lightning Bolt. You just stare at your hand that does nothing. Right.
But yeah, so okay.
Good talk though.
It's one of those. It looks good on the surface, but is ugly underneath. All right. Diligent Note Taker. So return the spell to your hand. I think everyone's thinking about this card with the Lightning Bloom.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You could overload yourself and play it for free. 0
Yeah.
mana 2/3 overload 2.
Yeah. Let's think here. I mean,
I think the cards are very good. It's like Omega spell damage. Because you play this, you lightning bolt someone, you get a lightning.
Yeah, that's
Play
nice.
this, you lava burst someone, you get a lava.
But if
burst.
I'm going for, but yeah, I'm wondering like what spells are really good to get two of in.
Rock Biter with Doomhammer, lightning bolt, lava burst, and a burn deck.
Yeah.
And that's where my head's at with this. I play this on the turn I'm going to kill somebody.
Yeah, the thing is, like, do I want to? That's what I'm thinking. Like, do I really want to develop this while I'm going for my killing turn? You know, unless so. But like sometimes, you know, because then that's an 8 mana lava burst instead of a 6 mana or double lava burst.
It's also 10 damage.
Yeah, but it's also 2/3, so you could just play it on 2, and
Open
you could
light.
even like if you're in a weird spot, like you could play something like Totemic Reflection on it, and then just get the Totemic Reflection back.
With this. A Totemic Surge.
Oh, what's the Surge one?
To attack for 0. So your Totem Goliath dies.
Oh,
the Totemic Surge with Diligent Note Taker.
Oh, the Surge is like with all these 0 mana spells could be great. Like you can mutate something and then mutate it again.
3 and a 4, I think. This card looks very powerful to me.
Okay. I'm bad at this one. This is where I'll give it a 2 and a 3. I'm not a little more conservative than you, but yeah, there's still potential.
All right. Now let's do this correctly and go back to Mage.